Hello, my name is Dr. Collins, and in this episode, we're going to talk about why you get neck pain, why your neck hurts. Alright, so your neck hurts. You found this video. Why does your neck hurt? This is a question that a lot of people have no idea what's going on inside of their body. They go to a doctor and they show up and they want an answer, or they go to the internet and they find WebMD, and by the time you're done with that, it's not even close to what's really going on. So let's talk about quickly what is going on with the neck. Why does your neck hurt? So structurally, when you're talking about the neck, you have a lot of very sensitive tissues in the neck. The biggest culprit tends to be the nerves. So the nerve roots are feeding out of the neck. What do I mean when I say that? So if you look here on this model, right? This is the skull up top, brainstem. These are the cervical vertebrae. Up top here, you're going to have the atlas vertebra, C1. This is C2, the axis, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7. Okay? So nerve roots. What are nerve roots? Kind of like an electrical panel. You're going to have that brainstem, that main line going down, and then at each level, you're going to have little nerve roots that come out. And little nerve roots that come out between C2 and C3, C3 and C4, and so on, going down all the way down your spine. So what causes all of this pain, right? Structurally, whenever you have, imagine that head weighs 10 to 13 pounds, right? So if you can imagine, if that head is not properly seated on top of the neck, you're going to put abnormal pressure and stresses on the column. That's not a big deal, except that the nerve roots are coming out, right? So over time, you tend to build up dysfunction, irritation, and over time damage of those tissues. So if you can imagine over years, if the head is not seated properly and you're putting abnormal stresses on that column slightly, right? Over time, these nerve roots could get irritated and start to hurt. Well, those nerve roots go into the shoulder, into the arm, the hand, the fingers, and you can start to feel weird stuff as well once you've got damage building up for a while, like numbness and tingling, nerve irritation, right? You can have pain. You can have weakness, because that's the other thing that nerves do, is they transmit motor impulse, right? So how does the head get off axis? What happens? Most of us can look back and think of a time when you've had a car accident. Maybe you played sports. Maybe if you were a guy, you played football. If you're a woman, you did gymnastics potentially, right? And those bones just underneath the skull get shifted around a little bit. They get displaced. Primarily, we're talking about the top bone in the neck, the atlas. When the head is not properly seated on top of the neck, that's going to put abnormal pressure locally on the brainstem, but over time that's going to start to build up dysfunction and damage on the nerve roots. So if you're experiencing pain in the neck, there's a likelihood that it could be the nerves. Beyond the nerves, if you have the weight of the head shifted over time, muscles do some abnormal things, right? The length and tensions that are on muscles change. So instead of having balance with all the muscles symmetrically holding the head up and shoulders, right? When that head is off a little bit over time, certain muscles are going to change the length and the tension that's on them. So those muscles over time, certain ones are pulling too much and doing jobs that aren't theirs. Other muscles are on vacation. So what that leads to is those certain muscles, right, that are overactive, they're going to start to become spastic. They're going to get irritated, right? And then over time, they start to develop trigger points, and your muscles are riddled with nerves. So the more dysfunctional and damaged that muscle gets, the more pain you're going to have, because that muscle is dysfunctional and becoming damaged. So nerves, muscles. Beyond that, when you're talking about the actual cord, so inside of your spine, it's like a conduit for your nervous system. The actual sleeve that wraps around your cord, it's a little jacket, right? Your nervous system, your brainstem and spinal cord run down, and they're suspended inside of that jacket wrapped around with cerebral spinal fluid. Whenever the top bones in the neck, whenever that top bone shifts over, you're going to have a disrelationship of that jacket, and you can have tensions that are put on that sleeve. That sleeve is highly, highly sensitive. It's nerve-rich. And there's some interesting research that's been coming out in the last few years relating it to migraines, which will be a separate video. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching, and if you have any more information, just visit our website at uppercervicalstewart.com. Thank you.